Hey everybody, peace and blessings be upon you. It is your favorite talk show host, your favorite podcaster, Ms.Ash.B. And yes, we are Healing at the Table. I just want to throw out our disclaimer today that Healing at the Table is a faith-based broadcast. All information that we bring to you, any content that is audio or written content, is for educational, informational, and spiritual purposes only. User discretion is advised. So any information you take from our show, user advisory is implemented. So you use at your own risk. And we're going into our interview today with Miss Dee, our special guest. So before I interview her and introduce to some and present to others, I do want to share a little bit. Healing at the Table relaunched, and we relaunched 2 Sundays ago. We brought in pastors, and y'all already know pastors do a lot of talking and they have the tendency to take over. But it is okay because we're back doing our interviews and interviewing our lovely guests and getting to the nitty and to the gritty of things that people want to hear and need to know that's going to elevate and benefit their lives. A lot of times we have stuff that come up in our lives. It could be age, you're getting older, you're getting more seasoned, more mature, and you may be single and you're feeling like, okay, I'm single, I'm getting older, I may not be able to find love due to my age or whatever the case may be. However, we're here to tell you today that you're able to find love at any age, no matter how old you are, no matter what's going on in your life. If you serve the God that created heaven and earth, anything and everything is possible. You have to believe that by faith that finding love is your portion, because first of all, God is love. We serve a God who is love. So when you know that love is endless and we supposed to love without condition. A lot of time in the generation that we live in today, people love with condition, and that's the cycle that we need to break and destroy, because when you love without condition, you loving that person for who they are at their core, with no stipulations, whether they do something for you or they don't do anything for you, you love them. However, we know that when you love somebody, you're going to give. Love is selfless. So you're not thinking about yourself when you are loving somebody. You're thinking about love and you're thinking about them and their well-being. But again, we have people out here in this world, and this could be for platonic relationships, romantic relationships. People are looking for, what can I get from this person? What can I get out of the situation, instead of what can I give? What can I give to this person to make them better, to elevate and enhance their lives? So quick testimony, quick little story time before I introduce my wonderful guest, Dee Patterson. I look, y'all, at 39 years old and single and loving the Lord and living for the Lord, I have a crush on somebody. I like this man real bad. But the thing about it is, I believe that in our platonic relationship, that's just what it is. Will it go past that? I have no idea. But I do know that I'm not in the business of twisting somebody's arm to make them see that I have value. I'm not in the business of twisting somebody's arm to make them see that I'm worth giving a shot, because either you're going to like me for who I am or you not. Either you're going to see me as somebody that can be your rib or you don't. And that just simple as that. There's no more tug of war with people. So if God has somebody out there for me, he's going to see me and receive me and love me for who I am. Without further ado, Dee Patterson, she is a soulmate coach, y'all. So I think you better start trying to tune in, get your pen, your paper ready to jot down some notes and some nuggets that she's going to give to us today. She's a soulmate coach. She's a published author. She's written a book titled When You Meet Your Match. And the name of her business is Find Love Ever After. So it is possible to find love even though you done kissed many frogs. So Dee, are you there with me, and are you ready to go ahead and go through this interview and bring some light on finding love at any age, ma'am?
Yes, I'm here. Wow, I have nothing else left to say. You already said everything. But
I am
yeah,
so happy you're here. Thank you for blessing the podcast, the talk show. Thank you, ma'am.
yeah. No, a lot of good stuff in that introduction. So,
Well, let's get it. Tell us about who you are as a person and why you decided to be the soulmate coach? What did you go through in life to put you in a position to be able to help others? Tell us who you are, ma'am. Let's go.
Yeah, good question. And I'm just doing a disclaimer. I am coming down with something, so I'm almost losing my voice, and it happened. I was like right before the podcast, but this topic is so important to me, so I'm here. So just bear with me and my voice. But yeah, so I'm a soulmate coach. It actually happened around the pandemic. My husband and I celebrated 10 wonderful years of marriage. I love being married. Marriage has been very easy for us. And so we kept hearing the people around us, including like the preacher of my church, were talking about how hard marriage is and how complicated it is. And then I was hearing from single women talking about how there's all these terrible guys out there and the dating pool is terrible. So I was just hearing so much negativity around love and marriage and relationships, and everything was just so wonderful with me and my husband. And so then I first wrote the book about what made our marriage so easy, like what are the I came up with 10 reasons. I had to think about it. I was like, what do we do that makes marriage so easy, and
Mm-hmm.
um, for me to love marriage. And so I wrote those 10 things in the book. And then after I wrote the book, it was geared more towards married people. But then I realized that, spoiler alert, the number one reason that we have a good marriage is because you marry the right person. So we married the
Absolutely.
right person.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted to start from the beginning instead of people whose marriages were already messed up. I wanted to start from the beginning where I can help women who are single find the right guy for them. And so that's what motivated me to go in and in the beginning and then just help them build a strong marriage from the start with choosing the right person. So that's where my passion has been since around 2020. Since the pandemic, I started coaching women and just changing their mindset about love and relationship and being more positive. And just like you said in the introductions, all things are possible.
Absolutely.
And so if you want a good man, there are good men out there.
Mm-hmm.
Have an abundance mindset that no matter how old you are, there are good men out there. And there always will be. Like there's never going to be no good men. There's always going to be good men out there. So that's what
Yes.
motivated me to start being a soulmate coach and coaching women.
Well, thank you for that. And so, ladies, and if you're listening, gentlemen, also, because we have some men out here that are single and they're ready to marry somebody. They're ready to be a husband, and they're ready to make this thing official with somebody. And a lot of times we have people in this generation that are feeling like marriage is obsolete. No, it's still possible, and God is still blessing people. God is still blessing people to have unions. And so when we say God is still blessing people to have a union, you have to have that mindset because you're already a wife before you legally sign on that dotted line. You're already a husband before you sign on that dotted line. So it's the mindset. Where are you in your mind? And do you believe that the dating pool is trash? Now, there is some garbage can type of situations out there, but then if you switch your mindset, you can attract that person that is for you. And one thing Dee Dee said is that she married the right person. A lot of times I've seen or I witnessed where people will marry the wrong person, get a divorce, and now they're back in the dating arena and they're making it so difficult and so hard when for other people that's never been married, that are dating and really trying to get to the altar, and they make it seem like you have an evil agenda or you're trying to force a connection. No, it's not that. It's that we're ready. So God send ready men and ready women to do this thing. Dee Dee, anything you want to say about that?
Yeah, so I do a Facebook Live in my Facebook group every Monday. And so last Monday's live was about there's potential in the dating pool. I know people use other words that deal with bodily functions, but there is potential in the dating pool.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about how you see it. Because when I
Absolutely.
met my husband, I met him on a dating app, and I'll tell you that story soon. But when I met my husband on a dating app, there were liars, cheaters, scammers. There were all those people in dating apps.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I was just focusing on what I wanted, and I met someone who matched what I wanted. So you can ignore all those men that are not what you wanted and don't think that the whole dating pool is bad.
Mm-hmm.
There are still good men out there. You just have to find the good men and focus on finding what you want and just ignore all those cheaters and scammers. And if you happen to encounter one of those, just move on. Ignore that that wasn't what I wanted, and just move on. And then keep looking until you find what you want, or keep um, doing activities so you can find the right man.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Again, you're saying so many things that I agree with. And what I want to tell people again, shift your mindset. What are you believing? How do you feel about yourself? And so you're going to attract who you are at your core. A lot of times people feel like, oh, if I put on some makeup and I put on a $200,000 dress or $200,000 suit and you go sit at the bar, you're going to find somebody that match what you have on the outer. No, the thing is you're matching who you are at your core. Who are you at your core? And then that's who you're going to attract. A lot of times people say, oh, I'm meeting the same type of men. I'm meeting emotionally unavailable men. I'm meeting narcissists. I'm meeting this type of guy, that type of guy. Who are you at your core? Who are you? Are you meeting women that want to just take money from you, just want to use you? Do you feel like that's the only type of person you can get? And if you feel like that, you have to rearrange your thought pattern. Get around people that can pour into you. Get around others who go to therapy. Get you a life coach. That's why we have life coaches in position to be able to motivate you, encourage you, push you to the next level. Because if you don't be pushed, and you're going to stay stuck forever if you don't rearrange the way you think and the way you're processing stuff. So that's what I'm noticing, and I consider myself a life coach who coaches, because coaches need a coach too. So a therapist needs a therapist too. A doctor needs a doctor also. So you have to look at that and say, okay, well, I'm doing a service for people, and I want them to believe, and I want them to elevate. Okay, so are you having somebody pour into you every 3 to 6 months, or twice a year, whatever the case may be? Do you have that? So when you meet clients and they're telling you that they keep meeting the same pattern, the same cycle of men or women, because you may coach men also, how do you help them get through that hard time of keep meeting? Why I keep meeting emotionally unavailable people? How do you help them get through that?
Yeah, so when I only coach women,
Okay.
but when I coach the women, we talk, like in coaching. A lot of it is asking questions. You don't actually tell them what they're doing. You help them realize what's happening. And so I ask questions to figure out what happened in their childhood, or what beliefs do they have about themselves,
Mm-hmm.
that they are dealing with those type of people. And it's
Mm-hmm.
usually some type of mindset that is making them accept someone who is below what they deserve. So I usually just help them realize what's going on, like what's the root of the issue, and then we work through that, and then I help them work through what they should be doing instead. But and the reason I could do that is because I experienced the same thing when I was single. I was single for almost a decade
Mm.
before I actually met my husband. Like I really, really wanted to get married for a time, and I couldn't find the right guy. And I was accepting pretty much anyone who was interested in me without actually setting my standards of this is what I want. Actually want a godly man.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Mm-hmm.
I was dating men who didn't have any love for God and were not interested in church, just because they're interested in me. And it's because I didn't think I would get anything better. And so
Okay.
a lot of women that I coach, they believe again that there's a scarcity mindset. They're never going to find another guy. And so they're just accepting anything. And
Okay.
so I coach them to believing that they deserve the best and the right guy is out there for them, and that they don't have to settle, that they can actually find the guy that they want. And something I didn't do and I learned to do, it's to end bad relationships quickly. A lot of
Absolutely.
times we stay in bad relationships again because we don't think we can find something better.
Mm-hmm.
And so I teach them, well, if he's not what you want, you can move on because
Mm-hmm.
there's more guys out there.
Absolutely.
Excuse me.
Ladies, look, I got some gentlemen listening now. She don't coach men, but hey, y'all gonna have to find y'all a male coach that can get you on the good foot moving forward because you all are having issues too. And let me tell you, for the people that has been married before, if you have had a bad marriage and that marriage ended and you're now in the dating pool, I'm telling you by the sound of my voice, you can also find love again. You don't have to stay there if you don't want to. The door is open for you to, come out there and believe again that love is still available to you and still your portion. You're going the thing about being married, a lot of times people are looking for it just because they want the title. No, marriage is ministry. You have an assignment. Can you carry the assignment with that person? Can you pray for them? Can you encourage them? Can you speak life to them when they feeling like they want to give up? Are you able to just push them into their destiny? Are you able to walk alongside of them as they're already in destiny? Some of us single people are already in destiny. You're already doing what God has called and created you to do. So you cannot just attach yourself to any old body because now you have an assignment that you are aware of and you need somebody that's going to be able to help you with that assignment. If they cannot help you with that assignment, then you don't need them in your life. And when I say help you, you are already working in what God has given you to do. So you cannot allow somebody that is lazy, have no vision, have no direction, have no sense of urgency to get up and do what they are called to do. You can't even pour into them because every time you pour in them, you feel depleted because they're not taking any of your advice. And oh my God, speaking of advice, my God, today, listen to me. If you're giving advice to somebody, make sure your life is in alignment with the advice that you're giving. Make sure that you're really a prophetic voice or encouragement voice to the people. Do not try to give nobody advice you're not living by. Your life is in shambles and you're not trying to get out of shambles. That's just a side note. We still talking about dating at any age and finding love at any age. That's what we're talking about today. So I had to throw that disclaimer, that little side note, that little footnote, because people will try to give you some advice about a relationship or saying you're moving too fast, DD. They'll say you're moving too fast. You better watch out. He may not be the one. He's trying to propose to you in 6 months or a year. You need to give him 2 years. Why? Why? You didn't say that when I was with Joe Blow. So why are you saying it now that I got a man of God who want to live for God, who want to do it right by God, who want to wait until we get married to do? Why should we slow down when we're getting older? We're on assignment. We have a purpose. Your kids are getting older. Why? Wait for what? Dee Dee, go ahead. Soulmate coach, go ahead.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like when you know who's the right guy for you, you're gonna know. And this is a good time to tell my quick story of how I met my husband. So
Yes.
I was actually, first let me say, before I met my husband, I was dating a guy who wanted to get married, and we actually went ring shopping. But I went to but that night after we went ring shopping, I was just like, he's not exactly what I want in a guy. Like, why would I pray for a guy for this long for God to bless me with someone who doesn't really match what I was looking for?
Mm-hmm.
And so I broke up with him. And then 3 weeks later, like 3 weeks after I broke up with the guy that I felt wasn't the right one, like I trusted my gut and knew that guy wasn't the right one, I was enjoying watching Lifetime movies because I love rom-coms. And the Match.com commercial kept coming on. So I watched Lifetime movies all that Saturday, and the Match.com commercial kept coming on. It's okay to look. It's okay to look. So finally, I was like, I got on Match. I did a search of like what I would want in the perfect guy for me,
Mm-hmm.
And I was shocked that there was like one guy who matched exactly what I would want in a man. And because I'm the woman, I didn't send a message immediately.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a Saturday. Sunday, I could not get my mind off of him. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, there's a guy out there who matches exactly what I want. And so I waited. I talked to my brother, my sister, and they both were like, send him a message, send him a message. So I did. I sent him a message that Sunday evening. And then Monday morning, I got a message back from him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in the message, it said, did a search on Match. You're the only one who matched what I was looking for. Are you interested in getting to know me? He responded, "Yes, I'm interested. Tell me about yourself." And so we just messaged each other all day. And then that evening, he called me. We had a wonderful, amazing conversation. We met in person on that Wednesday, and it's we've been talking to each other ever since. And he's exactly the type of guy I prayed to God for like
Mm-hmm.
my entire life. He's like, I mean, no one's perfect, but he's like the perfect match for me. So
Exactly. Exactly. So
yeah.
tell me this, Dee Dee. So how long did you all court, date, whichever you prefer to say, but how long was that phase?
Yeah, so we dated for 8 months.
Okay.
And then no, we dated for 8 months when he proposed, and then we got married a year after we met on the dating app. And it was just so clear for both of us
My
that we
God.
needed to get married. And it's been 13 years and it's been amazing.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, ladies, gentlemen, listen. It does not take God all day long. It doesn't take you, it doesn't take us all day long. We make it complicated. So when you meet somebody, you of age, and I'm talking to the people that's of age, that's seasoned believers, that's been in this thing long enough, you know what you like, you know what you want. Do not waste anybody's time. If you know this person like you real bad, I mean real bad, and if you don't like them real bad back, then tell them up front, like, I like you as a person. I like you only as a friend, and I don't want to move forward with you. Let me give y'all this quick testimony. I had knew this guy for some time, and back last year, back in November, he got upset with me, and we quit talking. So when I first met him, I told this guy that I only see you as a friend. I don't see it going past friendship. You know, we can talk about the Bible, we can talk about all spiritual things, and that is it. I don't see it past this. So he was confused on why. He said, "Okay, well, you want to be married, you know, but you don't want to marry me. Like, I want to get married like right now. And I want to get married like right now, but he just wasn't that right now man for me." And I made that clear that it was no usury involved. It was no hanky panky. It was just me having a friend, platonic, and that was it. And I didn't want anything more because he was not the man that I envisioned or I believe that I prayed to God for. But he was a good guy, and he would have been good for somebody, just not for me. So with that information, he said, "Well, I mean, I don't want to talk to you anymore because I'm not looking for just a friend. I want something more because I want to go to the courthouse like next week." He had no evil agenda, but that's what he wanted. But I was not feeling that from him. So we cut ties. Okay, I met somebody else. Me and this guy went out on a date. The date was cool. We're friends to this day. But again, like the situation that I had prior, this guy, we set boundaries of we're going to be friends, and that's just what that is right now. But me knowing what I'm looking for in a man and knowing that he checks off all the boxes, if I'm dealing with you and I want more because you check the boxes, I may not check the boxes for him. And that is okay. No love lost, no fight there, because even though you're checking my boxes, I might not be on your list at the top, and that's cool because God will still provide. He will still send somebody that is checking all the boxes for me and me checking all the boxes for him. It is cool to have friends and it don't go past that friendship. But the thing is, we don't want to waste anybody's time. I'm not here to waste no man's time. I know what I want. I know that I'm ready. I know that I'm a wife already. I just haven't gotten a man in my life to get down on one knee to do it. But it's going to happen, and it's going to happen swiftly because I prayed and I talked to God, and I already heard this. So So ladies, gentlemen, when you already know that what God is going to do, He's going to do it quickly, that it's going to be a suddenly breakthrough for you. That's all you need to know. Keep doing what God called you to do. Keep being on your assignment. Keep working. Keep pouring into people. Keep pouring into your business. Keep being busy, because as you're being busy and making yourself available for the person that God has for you, it's going to manifest. And when they recognize, it's game over. That's just that. That's how. And again, to my people out there that's been married before, you can still do this thing again if you want to. It's all about your mindset and where you want to take this thing to. So, Dee Dee, my question to you is, when you think about your business, your coaching, your writing, everything that you're doing right now, I know that you're doing it for the kingdom of God, but what do you feel like is your driving force? What is driving you to keep getting up every day, pouring into women? What is it?
Well, I think it's my purpose now. Is like I feel like that's what God wants me to do, is to pour it into single women. Like I don't believe God blessed me with such a good marriage just for me to enjoy it myself,
Mm,
but also to just to sow a seed to all the women that I meet, to help them find the love of their lives. So I think it's what God has wanted me to do. And I'm just, I love it. I have a passion for it. And so not only do I have the Facebook group, I do the one-on-one coaching, but I also lead a singles group at my church. And for all those single men out there. So I launched, we have like small groups at my church, but when I put out that I'm doing a small group for singles, 170 women joined the group. You know how crazy that is?
it's
170.
amazing.
Only about 70 show up because that's how, how it
Yes.
goes. But just that many women are looking for men and they're looking for advice. So every every Tuesday night I pour into them. I teach them something new about meeting the one for them. And so it's just there's just a lot of single people out there who need guidance, who need to know things, because there's also a whole bunch of negative, untrue information that's not true out there. And so I tell them, that's not true because I met my husband. There's good men out there. I'm meeting good men. Like all these people who have all these negative thoughts about marriage and relationships, I'm telling them, nope, that's not true. And so just for people to keep the hope and keep believing that there's a guy out there, like you're believing that there's someone out there for you.
Yeah, I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to quit believing because of the bad experiences I had over my years of dating. No, there is somebody out there for me. There's somebody out there probably watching this podcast, this talk show right now saying, oh my God, I want to meet her. Oh my God, she's single for real. Oh, where she's been all my life. Somebody is watching. And I will prophesy that to me and to millions of other women who are sitting on their couch watching this on television or watching it from your phone, your laptop, wherever you're watching this from. I prophesy this to you, that it is possible. It is your portion. God has somebody out there for you that's going to love you for you. They're going to love everything about you, no matter what narcissist you met before today, no matter what person you met that was a time waster, no matter what, because God is going to align you with the right man that is going to pour in you, and you can pour into him. If you have children, he's going to love you and your children. He's going to love them like they're his own children. So always remember that when you meet somebody, and if you have children, you come up with a package deal. That's who you are. So don't hide your kids. I know back in the day, back in the 90s, people would go out and they would meet people, and then they would fail to disclose they have children. It was like the children was a shame. No, your children are a blessing, and you want to make sure you cover them, because if your kids are anointed, you want to make sure you get somebody that is capable of carrying the anointing in your home, because your children, however many you have, are called to do something great, and you don't want nobody to come into your home and just mishandle them or mishandle you or all of the work you've done pouring into your kids, making sure they were going to live up for the Lord, making sure they was college bound and college ready. And then you get somebody in your life to tell them that Oh, your kids don't need to go to college. Oh, they can just go get a job. No, the devil is a liar. They will go to college. They will be educated. I'm talking to the young girls, the young men. You will go and you will be great. And when you do go and be great and become that lawyer, that doctor, that engineer, when it's time for you to connect with your soulmate, with your person, it's going to be in alignment because you're not getting in that relationship because you're looking for somebody to do something for you. You're looking so that your destinies can merge together. You're not, a lot of times we have people looking, what can they do for me? No, can your destinies align? Can they merge together so that God can get the glory out of this? You get what I'm saying? Like you want to get a partner that can do, I mean, oh my God, do this thing called life and ministry with you. Do not get somebody that is afraid of your destiny, afraid of your assignment, or telling you to put your assignment down. Why would you do that? You worked so hard for it. You went through warfare. You went through hell getting there. And somebody have the nerve to tell you to put down what God has given you, what you was created to do before the foundations of the world. The devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. So, Dee Dee, how does it work with you and your husband? You're doing your coaching business. Do you all align together? Do he help you out with it? Do he have something going on? Like, how does he support you with what you're doing?
In general, he's always just been a really, really supportive person. I do a lot of Facebook posts or anything I post, I like run it by him to see if he agrees or if everything is accurate because a lot of my posts are about him. So I
Mm.
just make sure he agrees what I have. And then he gives me advice. Like when I'm like from the male's perspective, I'm like I ask him a question. This is what I believe about men, and he'll like verify. So I bounce ideals off of him a lot with the business. But of course, he has his own full-time job. He's an IT specialist, so he does his thing. But yes, he's just a very supportive person, and he supports my dreams, which is what you would want in a partner is for them to support
Absolutely.
your dreams and just be there for you whenever you need them. So that's what he does for me.
And that's what you want. You want somebody that can bounce ideas off of you, somebody that you can talk to, even if they're not in a coaching space. That's not what they were called to do, but they can pour into you. You can share your ideas with them. You can sit at the table with this man and you can say, okay, babe, whatever you call your husband, honey, whatever he is to you, you can sit down at the table and say, hey, this is my plan. I wanna own a school one day. I wanna be able to do this one day. And he's able to say to you, you can do anything. You can do whatever God has called and created you to do. And he's there being your support, pushing you into destiny, pushing you forward, not just letting you just be there by yourself. Like I've met women where I coached over the years, they were married and they were in relationships, DD, with men that they were glued to because they said yes, they signed the dotted line, but the man wouldn't support them. He would not give life to what they were doing. And then that's why they had me in their life as a coach to push, to say, you can do this. That business you got, that hair salon, that whatever you're trying to do, you can do it. And unfortunately, you married somebody that don't believe in your vision, but you're already tied to them now. So now you got to really work even harder to get to your next level, to get to that end goal. So a lot of times we move so fast. Oh my God, ladies, gentlemen, when you're moving too fast, going ahead of God, that's when the problems occur. But when you're in alignment with the word and when you're in alignment with the will of God and he is doing it at a divine speed, that's the difference. Is it at divine speed that God is doing it, or did you do it and you're pushing it and trying to make something work and you see all of the red flags? The red flags are there, but you trying to get some paint and color them green. No, ma'am. No, sir. You don't have the green light. Slow down. Look, go back and revisit your list. What did you ask God for? Is this person what you asked God for? Again, we can pour into people and they can get their DD. But how about if you get with somebody, they're not even trying. They have no desire. And you're overworking yourself for this person for you to get to where you're trying to go to. No, ma'am. No,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. a strong believer is to find someone who's already the person you want. Like my husband, like I didn't want to change him at all. He was exactly what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And so with some of the other guys I dated, I wanted them to change. I was hoping that they'll do things differently. And, sometimes I nag. But with my husband, he was already exactly what I wanted him to be. And he was ready to get married. I didn't have to convince him. He proposed to me after 8 months. So just find someone who's already where you are, because people are not guaranteed to change. And so
Absolutely.
you could sit around waiting for someone to change, and more than likely he's not. Just find someone who already matches what you're looking for.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, stop trying to build a bear, okay? We're not in the business of building anybody. God already created them. God has already given them the tools that they need to move forward in life. And if they're not using those tools that God gave them, you need to move around and get you somebody that is already in alignment with your purpose, already in alignment with your destiny, already moving forward, doing what God called them to do, even if they're just, just speaking life. Like they have to be, like she said, like Coach Dee said, are they the person that you want? If they never change, are you still cool with being with them? Are they going to drive you crazy if they don't change? I'm not trying to get with somebody that I want to change. No, sir. I want you. When I meet you and I see who you are, that's who I want. I don't need you to do anything different. As we get older and as the days go by, we are going to evolve. We're going to change into different people as time moves on because we're changing and evolving. But I need to love and like you for who you are as we meet. As the day that we meet and I'm getting to know you. And again, to my future husband, whoever you are and wherever you are, sir, let me just tell you this. Now, we doing this live talk show, this live podcast. I'm about to get some stuff started real quick, Dee Dee. Hold on one second. Let me talk to the man of God real fast. I don't know where he at. I don't know where you at, sir. You could be in America on U.S. soil, or you can be in Nigeria, okay? Now, wherever you are, listen, when we go out the first day, it's probably going to be a little awkward because, again, I don't know if you him or not, okay? So I might look like I'm scared. I might look like I'm nervous. I might look like I'm shy, uneasy, reserved, whatever, because I'm trying to figure out who you are. But as I get to know who you are, you get all of me. This is me. This is this lady that's behind this hat, this big old sun hat, this blue jean dress, these cameras, these lights. This is who I am. I'm funny, I'm loving, I'm caring. Did I just sell myself? Yes, I think I just did, Dee Dee. Hold on, wait a minute. To my future husband, listen, sir, this is who you gonna get on the everyday. I'm real funny. You should have saw me this morning. I ate the plump food because a dog came and I started screaming and hollering, praising the Lord because a dog was outside. And the man said to me with his dog, he said, ma'am, well, he didn't say ma'am. He was like, it ain't that serious. Why you gotta be so dramatic? Because I am. And I am. Because I'm scared of this German Shepherd, this K9. Get you and this K9 in the house because I'm about to take off running. And I got a show to do today. And I don't need to break no ankle, no knee, no nothing. Put your dog up. But yes, I had to just put that disclosure out there to my to my future husband. He may be in Nigeria, Dee Dee. I'm leaning towards Nigeria. I'm about to get my dashiki and get my plane ticket ready because he may be over there. And he may be trying to stay over there. So if he's trying to stay, if I take up citizenship, what they say on Coming to America, welcome to Zamunda. But yes, ma'am, anything else? Like, what do you feel like right now in 2024, the women need to know about moving forward and meeting their soulmate? What is it? Because a lot of people don't believe in soulmates. So what do they need to know?
Well, so a couple of things. So I, of course, because I met my husband on a dating app, I am a strong believer in dating apps. I know that a lot of women are like exhausted and tired with dating apps, but I don't think that they're using it the right way of like actually looking for someone who matches what you're looking for. You're
Mm-hmm.
letting people who approach you who are not what you're looking for affect how you feel about dating apps or affect your beliefs about men in general. But there, again, there are a lot of good men out there, and you just need to look for the people who match exact what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's the best place. I know I used to go to like different single ministries at the church, but it's like almost every church in America, there were way more women than men
Yeah.
in the church. And
Mm-hmm.
so you can meet a Christian man on dating apps, and there's just like more options for you. So go where there are more options, even though it would be great to meet a guy in church, but it's just not enough of them for us. And you can meet someone on a dating app, and then you guys can find a church to. He can go to your church, you can go to his. You can find a church to go to together. That's what my
Mm-hmm.
husband and I did. He went to a different church, and when we moved states, we found a church that we both liked. So it's okay to find a Christian outside of the church because there's not enough of them. And
Mm-hmm.
so me waiting forever to find someone in the church when there weren't enough of them, I found him on a dating app, and he's a great man, great Christian man. And yeah, so that's what I recommend. The other
Okay.
thing I want to mention is that first, like, a man is going to love you the way you are, just the same way that you need to find someone that you love him the way exact way that he is.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know that you're a good person, you don't have a lot of issues, or you know that you're in a healthy place in your life, someone's going to love you exactly the way you are. You don't have to change yourself to be the person he wants you to be. You need to be you need to be true to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Be a just be yourself and find someone who loves you exactly the way you are. And that's what I did. On our first date, I was me, and he loved me the way I was. And I used to, when I go on dates, I used to like be timid, pretend to be
Mm-hmm.
someone else,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't meet good guys that way. But when I was myself, I met someone who loved me exactly the way I was. So someone is going to love you the exact way you are, your exact personality. You have a wonderful personality. Someone's going to watch this and just like fall in love with you.
They are. Come
So,
on, fall in love, sir. Come on, right now,
yeah.
today.
So exactly. So just continue to be you, and the right guy is going to come along. You don't have to convince someone. You don't
Mm-hmm.
have to do all these trickery to meet a guy. He's going to love you just for you being you. So that's what I'm going to say to all the women who are watching this: is just continue to be yourself and be open about being yourself. A lot of times, because we've been through some type of trauma,
Mm-hmm.
that we pretend that we hide who we are, but
Mm-hmm.
you got to reveal yourself so he can fall in love with you. You got to be
Absolutely.
open to him. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, so those are the things I want to make sure women know.
Well, okay, so and I totally agree with that. Ladies, I hope that you are taking note because I totally agree with everything that she's saying. And again, some people can disagree. You can, and it's okay. We're not here to try to change the way you think. We're not trying to change the way you believe. Again, as I said, we're here by faith based information and educational purposes only. So you're going to believe and flow how you want to flow. If you feel like you got to pretend to be somebody else, that's on you. But that's not the way. That's not the key to get somebody. You have women out here doing so much demonic stuff to keep somebody or to get somebody. Me and y'all better be aware because it's all over TikTok. They putting your names in jars. They doing all kind of evil stuff to keep you in their lives, and you trying to figure out, why am I attached to this woman that I don't even really care for like that? You don't have to force and make somebody stay in your life. Like, come on, like, ladies, you're
Right.
if you
Yeah.
just be who God called you to be, the right man, like she said, will fall in love with who you are. You don't have to do all that extra stuff. Like, it's not necessary. I'm not doing anything extra. All I'm gonna do is be Ash.B, be healing at the table, be a child of God, walk by faith, talk and encourage people who are listening to this broadcast. That's all I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna love whoever God sent me. And now, sir, you need to come on because I'll be 40 years old this year. And look, come on. Yes. So,
Yeah.
Didi, how can the people reach out to you? How can they order your books? How can they sign up for your coaching?
Yeah. So So hopefully I can leave a link, but I have a Facebook group, Love and Dating Secrets. You can see my Facebook Lives. I do one every Monday just to help women on their journey to meet the right guy for them. And my book is on Amazon, but hopefully I'm gonna leave a link at the bottom of this podcast. So,
Okay.
and you can also I also leave a link if you want to book a call with me to see if you're interested in one-on-one. So I provide one-on-one coaching to help you meet the love of your life. And basically, I see what specific issue is happening with you, and then so my methods on how to help you find a love is just cater to exactly what's going on in your life. And
Okay.
then, real quick, I want to say so, yes, a man should love you exactly the way you are. And if you keep ghosting or you keep getting, or you're not able to have long relationships, or our conversations are not lasting a long time, or a lot of men are not interested in dating you, if that keeps happening to you, there may be something that you need to do differently that you don't realize. And so that is something that I help women with like when I'm talking to them, I'm asking them what's going on. I immediately identify as like, oh, I know what you're doing. And I just help them like tweak the thing that they need to do differently just to attract the right man. So yes, be yourself, but there may be a habit that you're doing that is turning off men. And so I help you tweak that little habit that you have that could be turning off men. It could be because you hadn't healed from your last relationship and you're suspicious of every man and you're treating them like they're a common criminal, whatever it is. I when I talk to women, I could easily identify what you probably need to do differently to attract the right man because you keep making the same mistakes over and over again. So
Okay.
just letting women know that's something for them to watch out for.
Okay. Well, thank you. And then we're looking to get to the root cause of your problem. So when you are working with a coach and someone trying to help you push you forward, basically she's saying that there are some root cause issues that keep rising up as you're dating these people. You're on a merry-go-round of dating different people and nobody is sticking. So is it something that you're doing? Or are you dealing with some spiritual issues that you have not identified yet? Are you dealing with childhood trauma? Because a lot of things, as we already discovered, it goes back to your childhood. What haven't you healed from? Do you feel like you don't deserve it? Has somebody gotten in your ear and told you that
Yeah.
every man will lie, they will cheat? That is not the truth. That is not the case. There are men out there that love God at their core and they will not cheat on you. They have no desire to cheat. They have all the desire to build you up and you're the apple of their eye. So
Exactly.
there are
Yeah.
good men out here. There are good men out here, Savannah. But no, there are really good guys out here that will love you. And when I say that they'll take you for who you are, I'm talking personality. I'm talking your drive, your eagerness to succeed and be a better you. I'm not talking about somebody who is comfortable and content and not trying to better themselves. Like a man of value, a man that is doing something that has substance. He wants the same thing. Even if he say to you, you can be a stay-at-home mom, a stay-at-home wife, he still wants you to have your own identity. He still wants you to have something unique about yourself that you can identify with, that you know that God has called and created you to do. Just don't depend on him and live in his shadow. A lot of times women say, oh, he said I can just he gonna love me for who I am. But are you a lazy lady? Do you have no self-worth about yourself? Do you have no self-identity? And then again, young girls, I know that this is far from your mind of being married right now. But young girls, make sure you educate yourself. Make sure you're able to make yourself as a powerful being as you can through the strength of God to be great, so that when it is time for you to match with your match, that you're not looking for him for identity. You're not looking at him to sustain you forever, because God is the one that sustains you. And when you get your education, can no one take that from you? People can take anything. They can take your car. They can take your house. They can take your shoes, your clothes, but they cannot take your education. So all of my young girls that are listening to this broadcast, however old you are, and even to the women, go back and educate yourself. Find out something that you can learn new. So when you meet your match, you have something to talk about. Every time he says something, you're not just saying, wow, wow. You can have an intellectual conversation with him and have a dialogue where you all are bouncing back off of ideas and things like that, because a man of substance is looking for a woman that can also hold a conversation. If you can't hold a conversation, I don't think he wanna what he gonna talk to you about? You have to be able to talk to each other. But we're coming to a close of our show today. Dee Dee, is there any last remarks, anything you want to say to the people that are listening once again before we close?
Yeah, real quick. So one of the things, again, I mentioned dating apps are a good place to meet men, and it's especially good for people looking for love at any age. And so Match is an older website, and it's actually a good place for older women, like over 40, over 50, to find a man if you want to do a search yourself. We just had a lady in our group. She got married for the first time at 46. And so she had been listening to my stuff. We had one-on-one coaching, and she met her man off a Match too. So if you're older, that's a good place for older people to meet their match online. So I just want to make sure women knew that.
Thank you for sharing that, Dee Dee. It has been a pleasure speaking with you today. I really do thank you for coming on the talk show today to bless us with your presence, your knowledge, your information. And if you're looking for a soulmate coach, she's your girl. She's on social media, so you can find her there. She posted the link here on the social site, so you're able to click there to locate her. But before I go, my final thoughts to everyone that is listening. You can definitely and indeed find love at any age. Love should already be in you. Start taking the necessary steps to love yourself, to find out the things that you love to do, to find out things that makes you happy, because you're not looking to get into a relationship with that person to make you happy. You should be already content. They're just going to add to your happiness. And again, Healing at the Table, we're always accepting donations to keep this broadcast going. If you are listening today and you want to be a blessing to the broadcast, my moderator should have posted the information down below. If they did not, it is $ Healing at the Table 23, and that is the Cash App name to go ahead and give back to this broadcast. Make sure you're sharing with your friends, your family, your followers to keep our ratings and views up. That is important to us. And we thank you again for tuning in. God bless you, and you all have a good night. Bye.
Bye bye.